Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and my hands is The Walking Dead Deluxe number 79. It is written by Robert Kirkman, art by Charlie Adlard, color by Dave McCaig, lettering by Rus Wooton. For those who don't know, Walking Dead Deluxe is The Walking Dead reprinted, except it is now colorized, and there's also some extras. There's new letters to the editors, as well as the notes that Kirkman put together when creating the issue that he then kind of gives a little bit of a director's commentary on, which is kind of cool. Walking Dead Deluxe, it's been awesome to reread. It's been fun to dive back and kind of explore the series. Issue 79 is definitely, I'll call it, calm before the storm issue. Kirkman definitely has a pattern when it came to writing The Walking Dead. He kind of even admits it in some ways in the back where he says he's writing to trade, but it's kind of writing the story arc for him. And there is kind of like a lull before whatever kicks up in the oncoming arc. So this one is like all the kind of the various characters reflecting on what recently has happened, kind of coming to some conclusions based off of all of that. It's an interesting issue with a lot of kind of like characters standing out, like, questioning of, is Rick and his crew right? Is previous leadership for Alexandria wrong? Like, what direction everything needs to go into? What threats there are out there? Do things need to change? Like, all that's kind of thrown out there in this issue, and it's kind of interesting. Overall, I think The Walking Dead has been interesting to really go back and read, just because when it first came out, it was a very different world. We had threats of terrorism, we had economic issues. That was kind of really what this was reflecting, or at least kind of balancing off of during the series. Now we sort of have economic issues, and then COVID instead of terrorist threats. So now you've got an actual pandemic that has been going on with a series that's about a pandemic. So in other ways, it's been kind of interesting to read of this different perspective and different world, comparing the two. And I think that's issues like this with the calm before the storm kind of feels like those lulls that we have with COVID of just being everything's fine, and then shit hits the fan again and everyone's like, what happened? It's really interesting to kind of go and read this and of how much Kirkman really kind of hit the cycles and some of the stuff that happens with a real world pandemic. So, and that way the series has been really fascinating to go back and reread. The colorization, hasn't impacted quite the way I thought it would. The blood, the guts, all that with color, I thought there would be a really huge difference, and there hasn't been so far. It hasn't really fazed me much. In fact, it's kind of enhanced some things in some ways and made it kind of interesting. Example was, I think it was previous issue with a red dot from a scope that you wouldn't have obviously seen with black and white, or at least wasn't quite the same. So overall, I think it's been very intriguing to see it colorized compared to the black and white. So as I always say with this, it's really cool to go back and reread the series issue by issue. If you've never done it before, I think it's a great opportunity to do this. It's out every other week, roughly. And if you've read the series before, it's fun to go back and reread and re-explore it. Plus, getting Kirkman's notes, I think, are actually really cool to see what he says, because he's very honest in his writing and his thoughts about all that. And you learn a little bit about his thought process for writing, and it's kind of cool to pick up on all that. So you can go get this. It's out in shops. We've got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code or tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we get a small percentage, and by doing that, you help support your site. And speaking of support, just watch our video, support us, and help us. So really appreciate that. If you're into comics, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep a kiki. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.